they start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You've got to expect this team to take chances, go for it on 3rd and 4th downs, run a lot of trick plays, anything to try and break their losing streak. So you must stay alert and stay aware.
Again, it's Kamara. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Here's Winston. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
But that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
And the Eagles with a dime look. 6 DBs on 3rd down. Throwing, Winston. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing is Hurts. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Cameron Jordan in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. From the gun, it's Hurts. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with a tackle. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
That's good hard running right there on first and goal. That gets them down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
Again, it'll be Gainwell. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Kenneth Gainwell, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Now, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Elliott good on the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And partner, I'm going to make a quick pivot here and ask you to play general manager. It's well documented they're last in the league in offense, number 32. What changes might they make?
And this is where you have to be almost like a chess master as a general manager, because you have a few things at your disposal that you need to use. Obviously the draft, free agency, maybe you can make some trades, but also look at your practice squad. Have you been grooming players to promote and give them an opportunity to play as well? That way, you start to supplement as well as replace guys that need it.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Here's Kamara off the draw, and that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped to the backfield. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty, but when it doesn't, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. This will wind up a loss on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Play action. Here's Hurts. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. And they'll try and run for it with Gainwell. And some room to work. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 45 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. They'll run here with Gainwell. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
Gainwell will take this one in for an Eagles touchdown. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Winston. Throw left side complete. That's Thomas. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On play action, Winston. And that will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
This is taken at the 18 and able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
On second down, Gainwell looking for space. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 70 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Now this is an example of breaking down in defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They go play action with Hurts. Being chased, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Marcus Davenport able to record his 5th sack of the season. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, with that effort, you know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they'll begin inside their own 10, so field position certainly not in their favor here. Meanwhile, Winston's throw taken in by Landry. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Working with a 2nd and 4. Jameis to throw it. A throw over the middle, taken in by Troutman. Final play of the half here, Winston. Looking long for Thomas. And that's caught inside the 35. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
Will Lutz to kick off quarter 1.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. A good throw here, finding Pascal. Finding space at the 40. Now he's loose at the 40. Inside the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
Yeah, and this just looked like a simple, ordinary play to start, but boy, did things change. Once he got free, it was off to the races, and once he hit high gear, there's absolutely no one who was going to stop him.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw, Winston. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Minshew's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. Touchdown, Philadelphia! A.J. Brown, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
That pass complete to Deontay Hardy. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
But maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Kaiser White. And the Eagles are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked out and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Over the middle into the hands of Michael Thomas. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. And now here's another interception. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this 3rd quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick-6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Winston. And my goodness, another interception. And the Eagles are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. I looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, I mean, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble, so an interception, some type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play. These guys just want to get to the bench and gather themselves and regroup a little bit. Let's see if these offenses can settle in and start taking care of the ball a little bit better.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Running the jet sweep, Landry. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They'll go draw here. Winston hands to Kamara. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. They run it again with Kamara. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. The kick by Lutz is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And he returns this to the 22. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Off play action, it's Minshew. Airing it out deep for Smith. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And that one results in 35 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Gainwell. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
Ready.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Winston to give. It's Kamara. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
This offense so far on 3rd down, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Kamara try the right side. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. 56 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Well, CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about or really grasp onto in this game. They've been dominated, but at least they get a late touchdown here, something positive to put on film for tomorrow's session.
Yeah, they're still trying to execute, trying to get some positives on their board and ledger sheet and keep this from being a total loss. Give them credit. They're going down fighting.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Taken at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the fourth. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And they'll stay on the ground with Gainwell again. They find some open field here. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They run behind center with Gainwell. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Philadelphia, they get an all-important 10th win to move them to 10-6 with 1 week to go.